So we are going to start Unit 2 by looking at relationships between really intersecting lines and the angles that are formed from these intersecting lines. Again, this lesson is for second and fourth hour regular geometry. Advanced, we'll be getting into this a little bit later on before we get off on a little side chapter. There is quite a bit of new vocabulary this chapter: parallel, perpendicular, and skew lines. And we'll start with some parallel lines. I'm sure most of you should be probably, I think, pretty comfortable with what parallel lines look like. Again, if I was to draw some examples of some of these, maybe not exactly perfect, but it looks pretty close to what parallel lines should look like. So two or more lines, I'll just put two lines that lie in the same plane but don't intersect. Okay, and that is our parallel line. So they're never going to cross. These two lines could keep going forever. They would never cross. Perpendicular lines, a little different. These will intersect. And when parallel lines, or perpendicular lines rather, intersect, there's something unique about the angles that are formed. If you look at these four angles that are formed here, they're all at least pretty close to 90 degrees. They should be 90 degrees. So lines that intersect to form four right angles. Okay, and you can see each one of these is a right angle, right angle, right angle, right angle. And again, we know they're all right because vertical angles are the same. Linear pair next to one another add up to 180. Okay, so everywhere around, those are, again, perpendicular. And our last one is skew. I want to show you an example of what that looks like on the next slide. But these are two lines that do not lie in the same plane. In the same plane. And don't intersect. I know I'm running a little bit out of room here, but they also do not intersect. Okay, so let's look at some examples. So we'll start with a three-dimensional representation. It's probably the easiest way to look at this first. We'll start with some parallel. So if I was to start off by identifying some parallel lines, I might say that AH, and I'll put my little line symbol above it, is parallel, and we're going to have a new symbol. There's our parallel. It looks like a skinny number 11 to FE. Okay, let me go ahead and show you another one. So let me put my arrow symbol above these lines. Parallel. Let's look at another one. So we can see, for example, CD here would be parallel. It's parallel to a couple lines. CD is parallel to HE. If these extended this way forever, CD and HE would never cross, as would BG as well. So I'm going to go ahead and write BG in there just for the heck of it, although HE would be the right answer as well. So those are parallel lines. Again, there were other parallel lines, but I just focused on a couple. Let's go and look at some perpendicular. The symbol for perpendicular is an upside down T. It looks like this. So as an example, we might say that CD is perpendicular. In other words, when this line meets this one here, okay, or this back one as well, they're going to be forming four right angles. So it's perpendicular to line ED. Okay, and then again, that's just perpendicular. Really, any two segments that meet on this one, or two lines that meet, are considered perpendicular. So for example, BC would be perpendicular to HC. Okay, BC would also be perpendicular to BG or CD. Okay. Okay, now our last one will be skew lines. So I'm going to go and put my pencil back up. So this is going to be skew. There's no symbol for skew. Now these are lines that do not lie in the same plane and do not intersect. So for example, let's go and look at line AH here. Line AH is parallel to FE. Line AH is parallel to BC. Line AH is perpendicular to AF, to HE. Those all touch it. So in other words, you're looking at really that don't touch and are not parallel. So a good example to this one, two skew lines are AH and ED. You can see here's AH, here's ED in the very front. They're not even close to touching. They're not parallel. They're not in the same plane. That's an example of skew lines. Now sometimes we're going to have angles that are formed by transversals. So this is a little bit different than the three-dimensional drawings we've done earlier. I just want to give you a real basic introduction to these and so we can practice them tomorrow in class. You can see this line here that intersects our two other lines is what's called a transversal, and I'm going to have to delete this and give myself a little bit more room. Okay, but that is called a transversal. It's a line that intersects one or more, actually two or more lines. And notice from this we have a lot of angles that are formed. We have actually 8 angles that are formed in this diagram. We can add more lines in here, create more angles, but we're going to look at the relationship between these angles because there's something unique about them, and that's my son in the background laughing. Let's go and try to look at some of these called alternate interior angles, and I'll highlight these in a red color. So alternate interior are angles that are formed, and if we look at our word, interior is inside, alternate is just on opposite sides of the transversal, so across. So alternate inside, if I highlight one angle here, another one on alternate side of that transversal is here. So let's just say that's angle 3, that's angle 4. Angles 3 and 4 alternate interior. Now notice there's another pair. This angle and this angle here, they're alternating and they're both on the inside. And again, maybe I'll just call them something else for now. Maybe angle 5, angle 6, doesn't really matter for now, it's just a name. Now the reason that they're interior is that they're inside of these two lines. They're on the inside here. They alternate across the transversal. So alternating across, alternating across. And those are alternate interior. Okay. Likewise, we can have alternate exterior. So again, now we're not on the inside, we're on the outside. So if I was to look at angle, let's just say angle 1 here, we're going to alternate all the way across the transversal line to the opposite side and outside still. Okay, let's just call that angle 8 for now. It's good. We go and pick another color. Again, you can see that, hopefully you should see there's another one here, another pair of alternate exterior. Got angle 2 and angle 7 here. Those are our alternate exterior angles, no other ones that are listed there. Okay, let's do same side now. Now again, this is very similar. So instead of alternating across that transversal line, they're on the same side here. So we'll just highlight that with my marker here. So we'll just say angle 3, angle 4, those are same side interior. And again, we can go ahead and put angle 5 and angle 6. Those are our other same side interior. And we'll definitely be practicing these a lot in class tomorrow. Here, we also have, in addition to same side interior, which are here and here, we have same side exterior, which are on the same side but outside. Okay, so let's go ahead and highlight those. Let's use another orange color here. So let's say angle 7 and angle 1. Okay, I'm going to use a blue now, so angle 2 and angle 8. So those are my pairs of same side exterior angles. Last one is corresponding. And again, I'm going through these pretty quick. I just want you to kind of see just basically what these all kind of look like and be a little bit familiar with them. So corresponding are in the same spot on a different set of angles. So for example, Angle 1 and angle 5 would be corresponding. Angle 2 and angle 6 here would be corresponding. They're in the same spot. Angle 3 and angle 7 would be corresponding. Okay, and then the last one, we'll use this color here. Angle 4 and angle 8 are corresponding. So all the matching colors are corresponding angles. Okay, so that should be enough for now. Again, really what I want you to know is just know the different types of angles that are formed by these. So alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, and corresponding. Okay, and just notice again, this line that we have here is called our transversal. We'll practice this a lot more tomorrow, not only with identification of these, but also some measurements as well. But this is a real good introduction for you as well. So make sure you fill out your WISC form and submit it to me through Schoology, and have a nice night.